Hello, welcome to my videos and my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the NFL 2025 season, week 6 prediction. Well, tomorrow is going to start another week, the week 6 in the NFL 2025 season, with the Thursday night football in a divisional game where the New York Giants are going to receive the Philadelphia Eagles on the MetLife Stadium in New Rutherford, New Jersey, at 2015 start time. Remember that the last week the Giants traveled to New Orleans and they lost against the Saints 26-14. And about the Philadelphia Eagles, they were surprised by the Broncos. They lost 21-17 at home and they lost its first game of the season. In this moment, the Philadelphia Eagles, even that they lost the last week, they are leading the NFC East with a 4-1 record, and the Giants are in the bottom with a 1-4 record. I have been told you this, that the Eagles haven't been playing a very great football, in the first 5 weeks of the season. But even that, they have always found no ways to win the games. Also, they are the reigning champion team, and they are better team than the Giants. And the Giants are one of the worst teams in the league, and most probably they're going to fire his head coach. And they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. So even that, remember that when there is a divisional game, the gap is always reduced. So I expect a very physical and close game, but in the end, the Eagles will learn about what happened the last Sunday against the Broncos, and the Eagles are going to win this game by 7 or 10 point difference, and they're going to win his fifth victory of the season. And again, but a third straight week, there will be another international game, the fourth international game, and the third in a row, where the New York Jets are gonna to play against the Denver Broncos. This game is gonna to be playing in the Tottenham Stadium in a back-to-back game in that same stadium in London, England, and 9:30 start time. Remember that the last week the Broncos received the Cowboys and they lost, and they were humiliated where they lost 37-22. And the Broncos did the surprise of the week where they traveled to Philadelphia and defeated the Eagles 21-17. In this moment, the Jets are the only winless team. They are in the bottom of the AFC East with a 0-5 record, and they are the worst team in the league in this moment. And the Broncos in this moment are in the second place in the AFC West with a 3-2 record. I know that this game is in a neutral pitch, but in the end, the Broncos are better team than the Jets. The Jets, who I told you, are one of the worst teams in the league in this moment, if not the worst team. So I think that the Broncos won't have any problem, and they will win this game easily by 14 point difference. And the games that will start in the 13 o'clock Eastern time, there will be 7 games in that schedule, where in the first game, in a tremendous game, the Jacksonville Jaguars will receive the Seattle Seahawks. This game is going to be played in the Jacksonville, Florida. Remember that the Jaguars 2 days ago in the Monday Night Football, they played a tremendous game and they defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28 in the last second of the game, in the Jaguars' last drive. Well, remember, it was a very weird situation because in that last offense, the Travis Lawrence, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the quarterback, he had a failure, and it looked like that the play was over, was finished, and the Jaguars were gonna to lose that game, but he recovered and he scored a touchdown and they won the game. And about the Seattle Seahawks, they wasted the opportunity to win another game, and they lost against the Bucs 38-35 in a tremendous game. In this moment, the Jaguars are leading the AFC South alongside the Colts 4-1. And about the Seattle Seahawks, in this moment with this loss, they fell to the second place in the NFC West with a 3-2 record. This is going to be a tremendous game. This is, in this moment, are two of the best teams in the league, but I think that because the Jaguars are going to play home and they are playing a very great offense, especially in the offense side, I think they're going to win that game. Also, remember that the Seattle are going to cross all the city because they are going to travel from Seattle to Florida, and they remember that most of the time when the West Coast go to play against go to play to the East Coast in the 13 o'clock Eastern time, they always suffer. So I think that this is going to be a close game. I think that the Jaguars are going to win this game by 1 or 2 point difference, and the most probably the game is going to be defined in the last play of the game. In another game, the Miami Dolphins are going to receive the Los Angeles Chargers. This game is going to be playing the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. The last week, the Dolphins traveled to Carolina and they lost against the Carolina Panthers. They lost 27-24, where the Dolphins lost a 17-point advantage, and the Chargers were surprised where they lost at home against the Commanders 27-10. In this moment, the Dolphins are one of the worst teams in the league. They are in the third place in the AFC East, 1-4, and only because the Jets are worst team. For that reason, the Dolphins are in the worst team in this moment. And the Chargers, after they are leading the AFC West, they have a 3-2 record, but remember that they have a back-to-back losses, and they have lost against the two AFC, NFC East division. So I think that this is a perfect game to recover. And I know that this is always difficult when you are a West team to go to play in the East Coast, but I think that the Dolphins are one of the worst team in the league. So I think that the Chargers won't have any problem. They will win this game by more than 10-point difference. In another good game, the Baltimore Ravens are going to receive the Los Angeles Rams. This game is going to be playing the AT&T and the Bank AT&T Stadium in Maryland, Baltimore. Remember that the Ravens the last week, they were humiliated by the Texans, where they lost by 54-point difference, and the Los Angeles Rams lost the game in a surprise way against the 49ers, 26-23 in the Thursday Night Football in overtime, where the Rams did everything to lose that game. Also, in this moment, the Ravens are one of the deception of the season because they have a 1-4 record. They're in the bottom of the AFC North, and it looks like that they're going to continue to losing games because the most probably the Lamar Jackson is not going to play this game. This will be the back-to-back games that he's not going to play, and they have a multiple players that they are in the injuries places. And about the Rams, even with the loss, they are in the third place in the NFC West with a 3-2 record. So I think that this is how I told you, the most probably the Lamar Jackson is not going to play this game. So seeing this, I think that this is a perfect game for the Rams to recover and to win that game. So I think that the Rams are going to win this game by 3 or 10-point difference, and they're going to win its fourth game of the season. In another game, the Indianapolis Colts are going to receive the Arizona Cardinals, and Indianapolis, Indiana. The last week, the Colts didn't have any problem. They received the Raiders, and they humiliated where they won the game 40-6, and the Cardinals won a game that they should have they couldn't have lost that game because they did everything to lose that game. The Cardinals were leading the game by 16-point difference in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they made a lot of mistakes that the Titans took advantage and they won that game. In this moment, the Indianapolis Colts are one of the best teams in the league because they are leading the AFC South with a 1-2 record. And in this moment, they are the best team in the AFC. It's unbelievable. With the loss, the Cardinals are in the bottom of the NFC West with a 2-3 record, and they have a 3 losing streak. So I think that this is going to be a close game. But in the end, I think that the Colts will have the advantage because they will play at home, and because in this moment the Colts are better than the Cardinals. So I think that the Cardinals are going to win this game by more than 10-point difference. In another game, the Carolina Panthers are going to receive the Dallas Cowboys. This game is going to be played in Charlotte, Carolina. In the back stadium, I don't remember the name. The last week, the Panthers overcame a 7-point deficit, and they defeated the Dolphins at home. And the Cowboys traveled to the Big Apple. They didn't have any problem and defeated the Jets by 15-point difference. In this moment, the Cowboys are in the third place in the NFC East with a 2-1 record. Yeah, because they tied against the Packers. And the Panthers, in this moment, they have a 2-2 record. They are in the third place in the NFC South, and they are one game below 500. I think that in this game, the Cowboys are the favorite, but I don't know why. But I think that because the way the Panthers won the last game against the Dolphins, I think that the Panthers have the momentum, and because they will play home. I think that the Panthers are going to win this game by 3 or 7 point difference, and the most probably they're going to win this game in the last play of the game. And in the another game, the New Orleans Saints are going to receive the New England Patriots. This game is going to be played in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in New Orleans, Louisiana. The last week, the Saints received the New York Giants, and they defeated the Giants 26-14, where they played a tremendous game, especially in the second half, and they shut down the Giants in the second half. And with this victory, they won its first victory of the season. And the Patriots did a surprise where they upset the Bills 23-20 in the last play of the game, and they won this important game. With this victory, the Saints won its first game of the season, and they're in the bottom in the NFC South with a 1-4 record. And the Patriots in this moment with this victory, they're in the second place in the AFC East with a 3-2 record, and they have a back-to-back victories. I think that this is going to be a close game, but in the end, I think that both teams have the same football level, even that the Patriots defeated the Bills the last week. So I think that the Patriots have the momentum, and I think that for that reason, the Patriots are going to win this game, but this is going to be a closer game than the people expected. So I think that the Patriots are going to win this game by 1 or 3 point difference. The most probably, the Patriots are going to win this game in the last play of the game, and the Patriots are going to win is for victory of the season. And another game, my favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, are going to receive the Cleveland Browns. This game is going to be played in the Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Remember that the last week, the Steelers had a bye week, because in week 4, the Steelers play against the Vikings in Dublin, Ireland, and the Steelers won that game. And the Browns, the last week, the Browns they play on an international game. They traveled to England, where they lost against the Vikings 21-17. In this moment, this is a divisional game. The Steelers are leading the AFC North with a 3-1 record, and the Browns are in the bottom with a 1-4 record. Remember that also the last week the Browns mentioned his former quarterback, Joe Flacco, that this week yesterday was traded to his divisional rival, Cincinnati Bengals, and for that reason, Dylan Gabriel is the starting quarterback. He played the last week against the Vikings in London. He didn't play a bad game, but the problem is that he lost the game. And so this is a divisional game. I think that the Steelers have the advantage because they will come for a bye week, and they will have 14 days to prepare this game. And also the Browns, they will come from play in Europe, an international game, so this is going to affect them. So I think that this is going to be a close game because it's a divisional game, but in the end I think that the Steelers will take advantage to play home, and because they will have an extra week, they had an extra week to prepare this game. And the Steelers are going to win this game by 3 or 7 point difference, and the Steelers are going to win is for game of the season. And in the only game that we would play at 16:05 Eastern time, the game of two of the worst team in the league, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to receive the Tennessee Titans. This game is going to be played in the Alligator Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the last week, the Raiders traveled to Indianapolis, and they lost, but they lost in a very bad way because they were humiliated, and they lost by 34 point difference, where the Raiders couldn't score a touchdown. And the Titans, this is the surprise of the week, where the Titans were trailing by 16 point difference in the beginning of the fourth quarter, but several errors by the Cardinals that the Titans took advantage. They won the game with a field goal, 22-21. In this moment, both teams are one of the worst teams in the league because both teams are in the bottom of the division, where both teams have the same record, 1-4, where the Titans are in the bottom of the AFC South and the Raiders are in the bottom of the AFC West. To be honest, this is one of the worst game in the league. These two teams are one of the worst teams in the league. Well, I think that the Raiders are going to win this game because they will play at home, and they're going to win this game by 3 or 7 point difference, and they will win for first time since the week 1. And later there will be 2 games at 16:25 Eastern time. In the first game, one of the best game of the of the week, if not the best game. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to receive the San Francisco 49ers. This game is going to be played in Tampa Bay, Florida. The last week, the Buccaneers traveled to the West Coast, to Seattle, and they got the victory 38-35. And the 49ers, even with all the injuries, they could defeat the Rams in the Thursday Night Football, where they won the game in the overtime 26-23, where the 49ers played a tremendous game, especially the defense side. About the 49ers, the most probably Book Purdy is going to return to play, but even that the Mac Jones has been playing a very great football, and he has won 3 games, so it is going to be interesting. Also, the 49ers will have 10 days to prepare this game, but even that, I think that the Buccaneers have been playing a very great football, and they are in this moment one of the best teams in the league. In this moment, both teams are leading their division respectively. They have the same record for one. The Buccaneers are leading the NFC South, and the 49ers are leading the NFC West. But to be honest, I think that the Buccaneers are playing better football than the 49ers, even that the both teams have the same record. So I think that the 49ers won't have any problem, and they will win this game by more than 10 point difference. And in the another game, the Green Bay Packers are going to receive the Cincinnati Bengals. This game is going to be played in the Lambeau Field Stadium in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The last week, the Packers had a bye week, so they will have 14 days to prepare this game. And the Cincinnati Bengals the last week received the Lions, where they humiliated, where they lost by 13 point difference. In this moment, the Packers have a 2-1-1 record, because remember that almost 10 days ago they tied against the Cowboys 40-40 in overtime, where they played a very bad game. And about the Bengals, they are in the second place in the AFC North with a 2-2 record. Remember that the after starting the season 2-0, the Bengals have 3 straight losses, because remember that Joe Burrow got injured in the second game of the season. Also, yesterday the Cincinnati Bengals trade for the Joe Flacco, the former Cleveland quarterback, and he's gonna to start this game. So the Jake Brownie was benched. So it's gonna to be an interesting game, but in the end, the Packers will come from a bye week, so they will have 14 days to prepare this game. So I think the Packers won't have any problem, and they will win this game by more than 14 point difference. And in the Sunday Night Football, in a tremendous game, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to receive the Detroit Lions. This game is going to be played in the Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri, and 2023 time. The Chiefs the last week traveled to Jacksonville, and they lost in a very funny game, 31-28 in the Monday Night Football, in a very funny game. But to be honest, the Chiefs had a lot of opportunity to win this game. They couldn't do it, and they lost that game. And the Lions didn't have any problem, traveled to Cincinnati, and they defeated the Bengals 37-24. In this moment, by surprise of everyone, the Kansas City Chiefs have a record below 500. Yeah, you are hearing this, that in the middle of October, they have a record below 500. They have a 2-3 record. They are in the third place in the AFC West. And if the Chiefs don't start to win games, the most probably is that they could miss the playoffs. It's still too far to the playoff, but they need to start to win games. If not, they're going to be eliminated. And the Lions are leading the AFC North with a 4-1 record, and they have 4 winning streaks. So this is going to be an interesting game. I know that you can never bet against Patrick Mahomes, but to be honest, the Chiefs have been playing a very good, bad football all the season, and they are going to face the Lions. They are playing a very good season since they lost the week 1 against the Packers. Since that moment, they have improved a lot. So it's going to be an interesting game. You can never bet against the Chiefs and Mahomes, but to be honest, in this moment, the Lions are better. So I think that the Lions are going to win by 7 or 10 point difference, and the Chiefs are going to lose its 4th game of the season. So unbelievable. And in the Monday Night Football will be a double header again. Remember that this is going to be the 3rd time in the season, where in the week 1 and the week 4 they were play another double header. In the first game, in a tremendous game, the Atlanta Falcons are going to receive the Buffalo Bills. This game is going to be played in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, and 19:15 is 3rd time. The last week the Falcons had a bye week, for the reason they didn't play. And the Bills, the last week lost but surprisingly against the divisional rival the Patriots 23-20 in the last play of the game. In this moment the Falcons are in the second place in the NFC South with a 500 record, and the Bills lost its first game of the season, but even that they are leading the AFC East with a 4-1 record. To be honest, I know that the Falcons will have 14 days to prepare this game, but to be honest, you can never bet against the Josh Allen, and also because they lost, they will want to take revenge against the next rival. So I think that the Falcons won't have any problem. No, sorry, the Bills won't have any problem. They will win this game by more than 10-point difference, and they will win its fifth victory of the season. And in the last game, the second game in the double header, the Washington Commanders will receive the Chicago Bears. This game is going to be played in Washington D.C. and 2015 is their time. The last week the Commanders traveled to the West Coast to the Los Angeles and defeated the Chargers 27-10, and the Bears had a bye week. In this moment the Commanders are in the second place in the NFC East with a 3-2 record, and the Bears are in the bottom of the NFC North, but they have a 500 record. The Bears will have the advantage because they will play they didn't play, so they will have 14 days to prepare this game. But the Commanders are playing better, and remember that Jason Daniels, the Commanders starting quarterback, returned to play the last week. So I think that the Commanders won't have any problem. They will win this game by more than 10-point difference, and they will win is 4 game of the season. So I hope you like this video, and if you have any comments, suggestions, you can write me, and I'm on social media platform. So see you next video. Gmail.